Hello everybody, we are going to ruffle some feathers today. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it. I think it's an interesting conversation. We have some awesome sales. Let's go take a look. And for those of you following the saga, come on, come on. There you go. Come on, bud. You made me so sad. Thanks for all your opinions on why this pup won't come in here anymore. Come on. All right. Come on here. You want a treat? Come on. Come on, bud. Come on. You gonna go out? It's an improvement. So this isn't part of the topic, but this is gonna ruffle some feathers as well, because I know a lot of people aren't experiencing this, but for me, and honestly for almost everybody I'm talking to right now, Q4 has been terrific. Sales have been amazing for us on eBay and on live as well. And like I said, there are a lot of people not experiencing that, but almost like I said, everybody I've talked to is reporting back some good news. And some of the trends we've talked about for a while, I think are in play for sure, including collectibles, which is a topic of ours of late. This one was a viewer sale, so this will give fuel to the people who say, well, that's just for you. I'm telling you, it's not just for me. It's people that aren't in the social media business that I've been talking to as well. So I hope that is for some of you out there as well. And for those of you who it's not out there, I hope it's coming soon. And this little ET Gertie pin sold for $4.65 plus shipping, and it was a viewer sale. I'm picking completely in order today, which is something I don't always do, by the way. So William bought this one. Good day, Kevin. Is this going overseas maybe? I'm a fan of the channel. Thanks for the offer of the ET on the ET earrings. These will make a great gift for my daughter. Cheers, Will. Will, thank you. I appreciate it. And the rest of these topics, things that are going to ruffle some feathers, we'll start with some low-hanging fruit that might get the debate going, because I think this might be a lively comment section. What am I doing? 2 Firebird keychains headed out of here. So we're down to 20-something left of these. I don't see a message, but $20.92 for those 2 Firebird keychains. Made out of like acrylic or something. Absolutely love those sales. Can't wait till those are gone, and then we'll have sold all of the types. Like I said, we'll start with some of the low-hanging fruit, but as we get a little further into this video, we'll get into some things that, well, they apply to me, for one. I'm a little afraid that I'm going to come off sounding like, you know, holier than thou in this video. That is not the intent. These are just topics I think are interesting, and all of us, it's all relevant to all of us a lot of times. And I want to get your opinion as much as I can give my opinion on here. You should be able to do the same below. And then we'll get to a topic that I think is really interesting, especially in the collectibles market right now, and some different people trying to do what we've done over on Dibdit.com and have already done it, start their own sites, move off, move back on, controversy, shill bidding, all kinds of different stuff that I think is relevant to a lot of us, but there is going to be something in here for everybody. And y'all, there are some very big topics coming on the horizon for resellers, and not all of them good. And I have been preaching a lot of good lately, mixed in with some of the not so good. And I gotta get in here. This is one of Turner's Christmas gifts. It's been in here forever. I gotta wrap it and put it underneath the tree. Sold some Cabela shoes, and these didn't go for a ton, but at least they're gone. I think they're right around $21, which I think is a heck of a deal for Cabela boots. Should check my size. I don't have any. No, they're a little too small. I wear a 9.5. And $20.97. Sold on 30% off plus shipping. I owe a lot of the inspiration for this video to different things, different places and people, but one of them, the most recent, brought up some of these topics. That's the Buy It All podcast. And since I was already going down a certain road, I just stole a lot of their thoughts over there. So I got to give them credit, and you can go check them out. In this era of well, it's been a long era, rising cost in shipping, people are doing things that I personally wouldn't do. I want to bring up the topic and get your opinion on stuff. And this is a little sale. It's headed out of here. It is a Holly Hobby pedestal cup, little mug, sold for $12 plus shipping. Now, I have a lot of reselling friends, and we all do things a little bit different. I love to pinch pennies. It's part of my business, whether it's on the buying side or on the shipping side. I love to get discounts. I buy in huge quantities in bulk. I've got a shed out there just full of stuff. for shipping, because I don't want, you know, if I can shave pennies off stuff, I'm definitely going to do it. By the way, side note, it's getting towards the end of the year, so making a huge bulk buy might reduce, if you think you've made a bunch more money this year than maybe you're going to make next year or something. Buying stuff right now, shipping materials or a thermal printer or whatever. A shout out to American Bubble Boy. Buy a bunch of bubble wrap. There's always links and stuff. Now's not a bad time to do it. I do it every year, and we have stocked up for next year for sure. But that's not the topic. So we're going to start with low-hanging fruit here. People that ship things in priority boxes and they ship them ground advantage. They'll wrap it, or they'll put it in a poly bag or something. I don't suggest doing that. I have done it in the past. It's been quite a while since I've done that. Usually it's done out of desperation or the wrong size box. See, I'm already trying to justify it. That's part of the conversation. Or a lot of times I will do it out of an old priority box, recycled box. So I'm not making judgments here, but it is something that I just can't in good conscience do, even though I've done it. And there are a lot of folks who use priority boxes and stuff like that to ship through other services, UPS or FedEx, and those services don't seem to mind, but I can't stomach doing it. Jess mentioned something to me the other day, and I'm like, nah, I can't do it. And this is something that I think most people would do and do. That just inspired me to take a field trip in here and show you this. Jess, she does all the Dibdit shipping in here, right here. This is our Dibdit board of people who buy from us, and we just take those and put them back on here and label the bins, and they can get a ton of stuff shipped over the course of a week instead of one show. She's like, why don't you get more of these? How much do these cost? Because it's a giant roll of thermal printers. And I was like, they're free. She's like, oh, well, get them. Stop buying those small ones. And I'm like, I can't. Here, I'll check these puppies out. He's not afraid to come in and snuggle with me in here. He just is outside. And she's like, why? I'm like, because they're from UPS. You can order them for free. And she's like, why don't you do it? I was like, because like 5% of what we ship is UPS. So, well, where'd you get that one? I'm like, I got it out of a storage unit. Somebody else was doing it. And I'm on the far, just to give you an idea, a little context here, when we talk about these issues, I'm probably on the far conservative side of this kind of stuff. I don't know. I just can't do some of it. And I would say that getting those UPS labels for free is something that, I don't know, 95% of you could do and have no problem with it whatsoever, and there's no judgment here. But y'all, we're going to enter a stage, and I'll do a video about this, where the cost of shipping is going to go up even more. And I'm not just talking about buying supplies and buying thermal label printers. You see all my stuff down there. And people are going to be faced with choices, because your margins are going to start to shrink. They already have, let's just face it. And these are issues I think that are important, and some other ones here we're going to bring up. This is a minor one, but there are some other ones as well that I want to talk about. Somewhere Mama Bear, or excuse me, Papa Bear, Mama Bear is the seller over there on Dibdit, is smiling. Let me do this without you watching it, and I'll show them all to you in a minute. We've already sold 2 of these. These are, and one was to a viewer. 2 of these are to viewers, so fully, well, more than half. 3 of 5 have gone to viewers. Just, you know, for full transparency here. And we're selling these for $18.95 for a set of 5, all of them. So I had Reagan go through them. I paid her. This is her little writing, which is neater than mine. And it told me I had the most amount of these, the least amount of these. So I knew we could do 56 lots of these at $18.95 a piece. I paid $60 for all of those bags that you saw, which I have now put over here and a couple over here. I had to do some rearranging. So we are in the profit, starting on the profit with this row, all profit minus fees and expenses right here. And so I'm really happy about that one. We're going to have to do some singles because we have more of these. We have more of these. We'll probably do a lot of 4 and then a lot of 3 and a lot of 2 and then a single or something like that. We'll see. So the next one is a little bit tough for me, and it's another topic that I heard on that podcast that we've talked about before, underselling something. And this has happened to all of us, I'm sure, well, most of us at some point. Haven't done it in a long time, but underselling an item significantly without knowledge. So somebody, you post it and it sells in like 2 minutes, and then you get 4 messages, hey, you know, cancel that order and I will, I'll give you 10 times that amount or whatever. What do you do in that situation? So I remember one time I listed an item for, I wanted to list it for $99.95, and I listed it for $9.95. And I told the person, I said, this is what I did. My apologies. I'm going to cancel this order. And I was okay with that. That was a pure accident. eBay, you know, they let buyers back out of stuff all the time. I'm like, you know, I just screwed that thing up. Now, if it's, and a lot of people won't do that, but I felt okay about that. What I don't feel okay about is, you know, taking an item, maybe it should have sold for 100, maybe it should have sold for 500, and I listed it for 150. I didn't know the value of it, and then you get people coming in and making you offers, canceling that order, and then doing the deal with somebody else. That is something that I can't do. I'm curious to see what you guys would do. Would you cancel the order and repost it for everybody to have a shot, or would you just honor what you put out there? I have honored what I've put out there in the past because I didn't do my due diligence trying to figure it out. And I try to put myself in their shoes. And if I'm at a garage sale and somebody says, hey, that's $20, and it's like, okay, deal, shake hands. And then 5 minutes later, they're like, you know, I'm changing my mind, $200. Ooh, that wouldn't sit well with me. So that's, you know, it. However, if I took that original scenario that I just talked about and somebody made an honest mistake with it and they came back and said, hey, this is what I did, this is what happened, then I would probably be okay with it. So let me know what you think. This next sale seems appropriate for the snow outside. JCPenney's size 16 teens snow. This is a little vintage snow outfit, ski outfit. $24.49 plus shipping. The next ethical conundrum here is one that I've heard talked about many times in different situations, and I've given my opinion a little bit, and I want to know yours here. So if you have an item, say you can't find it, and you have to make a decision, are you going to cancel that order? I know a lot of people, if their defect rate is too high and one cancellation might cause them to drop a rating in eBay, they just won't do it. They will say buyer canceled, problem with address. They'll do all kinds of different things in order to make it right, even though the mistake was theirs. And I have a hard time with this one too. I have never been faced that I can recall with the situation where if I canceled an order, I would lose, say, top rated, for instance. I don't think that's ever happened to me yet. And so it's difficult to speak because, man, that would really hurt. So what do I do when that happens? And hopefully it doesn't happen very often, but it does. I mean, it just happens. We all know this. I have done all kinds of different things. I have sent a message and say, hey, I can't find this item right now. I'm going to keep looking. And would you prefer me to cancel it now or get back to you tomorrow and let you know? If they say cancel it now, then buyer requested it. I'm okay doing that. It seems they did request it, I suppose. At my request, they requested it. There's other options I hear people talk about all the time. Some of them I would be comfortable with. Some of them I wouldn't. I do think, and I have done this before, if I have a similar item, maybe they bought something and there's a variation of something. Like, look at these. These two guys right here, this would be a bad example because this would be a huge loss of money. Maybe these two. So if you sell something like this and you've screwed it up, you've lost one, or you shipped the wrong one to the wrong person or something, who knows, then I might say, you know what, I don't have that one. I cannot find it anywhere. I'm going to ship you this one for free and ship it to them, and when it shows up, I'm going to refund your money. You're eating some cost there, but you're saving yourself a strike and you're making the customer happy. Presumably you are. I have gone as far as bought cards, $5 gift cards, and this has been many years since I've done this, but send them a gift card and say, hey, I am so very sorry. Send them a message. This is on its way to you. Here's some free money. I'm going to refund everything to you, and you can go find another one, and here's a gift from me. Thank you. Sorry. I even remember putting $5 bill in an envelope and sending it off one time with tracking on it to avoid it. So those kind of things where if I was the customer in that circumstance, I would be perfectly okay with that. I'm okay with doing it. But I have never ordered something and somebody sent me a message that says, hey, buyer requested to cancel this thing and that's why it's canceled. That would make me mad. So those are some minor ethical issues, I think, and I'd love to hear your opinions, but this is going to lead, this is what really got me into this conversation today, because I bought a storage unit. Well, I'll tell you about that. I'll give you the culmination of it, sort of. This is a sweet little, I don't know, brass? ashtray. Really nice, heavy Irish setter ashtray. Sold for $20.97 plus shipping. So I bought a storage unit. A lot of people, I put a little bit of it on film. I didn't put it on the Picker channel because you guys over here understand me a little bit more. I paid $4,000 for the storage unit. And a lot of people are like, wow, that's a lot of money for that storage unit. I'm like, I get it. I get it. There were some different reasons why I did it. A couple of them I won't discuss. I'll just say that I was helping some friends out. Let's just say that. And I knew I wasn't going to lose money. And then the second one was that Joey, check this out, y'all. My window's dirty, but look, got the dogs. Turner's got the snow shovel. I can't tell you how happy this makes my heart. I told Turner, I was like, can you do some snow shoveling? He's like, yeah, he wasn't happy about it. And I'm like, well, this is for my business. I need to get in and out of here and get packages, so I'll pay you. And he's like, oh, okay. Back to the story. Another reason you might hear some snow getting scraped out there, we'll live through it, was my buddy Joey, who I've talked about before. I paid for that storage unit completely. Joey didn't pay a dime for it. And I knew I wasn't going to do this thing for the person that I'm not going to talk about or for Joey. I wouldn't have done it if I was going to lose money. But I know it's the holiday times. Joey's got a young family, works hard. I'm like, hey, he needed an inventory, and let's do this right now. You don't have to pay me a dime. You can keep half the money you make on it and give me the other half back. He did it. Well, long story short, I'm going to make probably, when it's all said and done, probably close to $3,000 on the deal, but I have to sell a lot to get there, where he could make, you know, a couple grand, probably more than that, really quickly, and be okay with it, and it's all gone. At any rate, part of the deal was we needed to take a lot of that stuff to an auction, and he did that as well the other day. We made a decent chunk of change from what was left over, and he told me the story about this particular auction, which I've never been to, and we loaded it up, and he took it off. And he's like, the guy who was holding the auction, the person who owns the auction, was bidding on the items. I'm like, okay. And this came up in their podcast where, you know, there's these shill bidders and stuff like that. And I've started to make connections to, hey, I'm on Dibdit. That's my site. I do go on there and bid from time to time. And it's not quite black and white. I was like, well, did he buy the stuff? And he's like, yeah, he bought it. I'm like, well, nobody bid against him? Does he actually have the stuff? The answer is yes. I'm like, I'm okay with that. And he was a little surprised, I think. But I'm like, yeah, I think I'm okay with it. It was very transparent. He wasn't trying to hide it. It was what it was. He wanted a lot of that stuff for himself. And I know why, looking at the situation a little bit later. But I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with it. I just realized I did not thank the people. The two of those were sent to viewers for those Bears pins. Thanks so much for all the videos. Big Bears fan here. Heard you talking about these on the Trash to Cash podcast and had to come over and get them. Bear down. I'm still rooting for the Rams, but I'm happy for you folks up there. I haven't had a winner in quite a while. Matter of fact, no, you guys won in early 2000s, I think, and then back in the 80s, 85, 86, I suppose. The Fridge, I love that era. And Sweetness, Walter Payton and McMahon and Ditka, all that. That was a great era of football. And long time, the second one of them didn't go to a viewer, but the second one here, long time viewer of all your channels. Thank you, Kevin, for all you do for us resellers. Every time I hear that, I'm very grateful, but I'm telling you, the reverse is more true. We greatly appreciate you and your hard work to keep us informed. These buttons will make a cool gift for my brother. Happy holidays to you and your family from Humboldt County, California. Steve, awesome. You may not know this, Steve. You may know this. I've mentioned it before. I have a connection to that. Willow Creek, California. My parents lived there for a very short time. Moved up from Southern California to get out of that, you know, chaos back in the day. And my brother, who is just 18 months older than me, was born in Eureka. They lived in Willow Creek. And I have a huge fondness for that area. And I've passed it on to my son with all the Bigfoot lore that came out of there and the Trinity River and all that stuff. And I cannot wait to go back. Steve, thank you. As a matter of fact, that grocery store right there in Willow Creek and a few different other buildings in there, Wimpy's used to be there. I don't know what's there now. Was owned by some very dear friends of ours for many, many years that have since passed. Now back to the auction part. Now to me, that is very, very different than bidding on something that is yours and causing the auction to go up. Very, very different. And I know a lot of people in the collectible market, the card market, have been doing that kind of stuff. And I think it casts quite a bit of doubt on some things. Shiny Brights, y'all. These are cool. I'm going to show them to you. Look at those. When I find Shiny Brights sometimes, y'all, they do not look this nice. And they're certainly not in a box and all there. Those were cool. And I bought them with all those other ornaments. This was a crazy good sale. Paid 30 bucks for just tons of ornaments. We've sold so many. Most of them on Dividend, some of them over here. And these actually alone by themselves put us in the profit, and all of that is pure profit. So $39.95 for these Shiny Brights plus shipping. Now, if you're going to put your item up for auction, your personal, like that wasn't his stuff. He was bidding on it, and it was my stuff. Fine, you know. Now, the problem that some people will see is that person bidding for the purpose of driving that price up. And there's where you have an issue, right? Because the other person, if the person running the auction wasn't doing that, then the other person would have got it much, much cheaper. So there's a little gray area there for sure. The difference to me is that the intent? It wasn't in this case. It was pretty clear it wasn't. If you knew what the items were and you knew what he wanted them for, you could see that pretty clearly. But because you know that, then I'm okay with it. If you don't know that and you just see people doing that to push up bids up to the point where they think it should be and then they back out and then they never buy anything, that's an issue. Or if they push it up and they end up with it and then they don't buy it or get a refund from somebody, there's some kind of weird stuff going on. The problem is we don't know this stuff half the time. And so those are some of the issues we've actually had to deal with. I've had to think through over there on Dibdit for the very first time. Sold some Cat's Meow from Fincastle, Botatot area right here. This one sold pretty good, y'all. This one sold for almost $70, I think. $68 and change for this one. Really nice little set. Not too far away from where we're at. Matter of fact, my son's house is being built somewhere near there. So I'll take that sale. Looking good, bud. Look at the dogs out there fighting, y'all. Stop fighting. Thank you. I won't kill myself on this. So like I said, very different scenario where I don't think there's any way you can justify putting an auction out there that is your item and then bidding on your own item. And I see this and I hear people talk about it. I'm like, if you're going to do that, look, if you're going to do an auction, it should be an auction. And you're putting it out there. If you want to have a reserve on it, have a reserve on it. But if you don't, you're going to have to live with the consequences of it. You're not going to bid up your own item. I just don't see any way that is ethical in any way, any scenario. Let me know if you find a scenario down below. Back to the Firebird keychains. One sold this time. And this one is headed out to Cynthia. So Cynthia, 1046 for that one. Actually, I'm doing these free shipping at this point. So I said plus shipping on those two, but it's not, and this one isn't either. So in regards to me personally, because I am one of the owners of that Dibdit site, I do bid on things. I do buy things over there, and I had to really think about this to make sure there's no appearance. You know, Reddit will tear you up, right? And so I'll tell you where I stand on that kind of stuff. And while I'm doing that, you know, Carrie, one of our partners over there on the Trash Cash podcast and all that, he does not bid on stuff over there. And I kind of get it. Although Dawn does. So vintage Chicago Bulls beanie, $7.28 plus shipping. So I'm kind of torn with it. Obviously it's this, I want to support the people that are selling over there. I often buy static stuff so I don't have to deal with these issues at all. And I bought some gifts this year. I bought quite a few gifts from sellers over there, statically and on auction. I'm fortunate enough that 99% of people over there know who I am, and they know, they trust me enough. I will bid on things that I want to resell that I like. I will bid on things that I like for personal use as well. And I will always use my credits, because if you go over there, like for instance, people went over there and bought this honey and they used code Commonwealth. They went through the link and they got $5 off. And so I have a credit, they have a credit, and I'm going to use that credit on sellers. I got to use it over there. So I'm going to use it on our own sellers. But that's only possible because people know me. They know if I'm bidding on an ET item. Here's Turner. The steps going out to the cars and the little concrete area right there, and then the front steps. Thank you. So like I said, you know, because people know me and they know, hey, this guy likes PVCs, you know, he likes this stuff, and it's okay. But I'm not going to sit there and bid on stuff so that the auction goes up so that I make more money. It's just not right. If I didn't have that advantage of people knowing me and knowing what I do over there, I would not do it. I would not do it at all, and I respect Carrie's opinion over there as well. But I'm going to continue to, and people can trash me in Reddit if they like, and I'll just kind of stand on my own, I don't know, reputation, I guess, and be consistent in what I do over there. And hopefully it's okay. I normally don't look at DVDs and media and stuff like that. Well, I will look at it sometimes if I have a lot of options out there, unless the price is really cheap at a sale, and I'm sure glad I did at this one. And I bought a bunch of different stuff. I think that's where this came from. Desperate Housewives. This set right here sold for $76 plus shipping. And I've got another item back here. World of Golf. This one might have been hanging around a while. And there it is right there. It's a Mickey Mouse pewter practice putter cup thing. Kind of cool. But it took forever to sell. And it sold for 30% off. Sold for $11.16 plus shipping. So can you all think of any more of these type issues out there that you've dealt with or experienced yourself? Sold a Black Hawk, what do they call this thing here? Serpa concealment holster. $18.95 plus shipping. Had to go get a sweatshirt on here. Turner's been working to get Poncho in here, or Wallen in here. But I told him not to force him in because he's tentative. And it makes me very sad. He was my buddy in here, boy, for years. And I just, something's happened in here. He's traumatized or something. And I do not know why. But we'll get over it. And this is from the storage unit. Thomas Kincaid Victorian Christmas Woven Tapestry Throw. 25 bucks plus shipping. You gonna bring him in here? He seems okay. I don't want to force him in here. Come here. Here. Let's see how he reacts. Come on. Come on, just hold him. Sit down there and hold him. Maybe we'll get him used to it again. See what the problem is. They haven't seen you in a while anyways. Here, you want a treat? Okay. Say treats are good. I gotta give you one too. There you go. We're happy to see you. We won't make you stay though. We won't make you stay. Alright, neither one followed Turner out of here when he left, so that's a good sign, huh? Oh, now they want to go. I better let him out. Don't want to traumatize him anymore. Alright, flings. I sold 2 of these. 2 sets of 2 for these little phone controller things. I'll have to take them apart though. Let me get that out. You guys want to go? Just stuck to it. You want to go? Come on, you can go. There you go. See you in a bit. One of those 2 went to a viewer. Learning so much from your channel that is helping me in my recent jump into eBay. Kevin, thank you. Please throw a sticker in. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Thank you very much, Jolene. We appreciate it. And we'll send one out. Sold another Scooby-Doo keychain, which I just moved down here to make room for the other stuff. Where's Scooby? $10.95 for the Scooby. I think that's right. I think it went off sale. So that one's headed out the door. So being in Southern California and a Lakers fan when I was a kid, I was brought up to not like Larry Bird. However, as I age, I kind of like him. And he sold for $15.95 plus shipping. Starting lineup. They're not supposed to sell, but they occasionally do. I just listed some of this stuff here. And instead of going out there, there's 2 bins out there I needed to put up in here. I just figured I'd bring one in because it's cold. Ford Thunderbird model kit. This one was opened and it has $12.95 on it plus shipping. My media rack is getting a little low. That's a good sign. Gonna jump in and get some list easier stuff done pretty soon and fill it back up. Do some other stuff as well. This might be the one. Is this throwing copper? Is that it? No, that's not it. I don't know. Maybe it is. I'll have to look. I know it was a big lot of CDs. What is this stuff? Live CD lot. Throwing Copper, Awake, Mental... Okay, so it's the title. Live is the name of the band. $27 plus shipping. I haven't bought nor listed very many board games in a while. Just a lot of space, not a lot of money. So I haven't been buying too many, so those are the leftovers. They'll probably go on discount here pretty quick, if not already. Nerds. And I think it's full of the, yeah, this is what it is, 6 decks. I think we got this one out of the storage unit, $12.95 plus shipping. Sold some Corningware Spice of Life. They're out there in that shed, and my feet are already frozen, so I'm gonna just show it to you really quick. These sold for $64.95 plus shipping. I usually don't sell this stuff, but for that price, I'll package up 3 different ones, and it's not going too far away, thank goodness. Something I want to talk about in the near future is shipping and the changes that are coming and some adjustments that I've suggested in the past, but I'm going to highly encourage at this point, and I'm going to get you to chime in on that too. Sold some carpenter pants, just some plain Jane Lee dungarees. I don't even know why these are listed, but they are $10.60 plus shipping. So another Betty Boop figurine. And this one, that we sold one in 1995 just like this, but the box is a little damaged on this one. So we sold it a little cheaper. Sold it for $18.95 plus shipping. Sold some Pioneer Woman curtains, and these came out of that storage unit as well. Should be right there. And they sold for $22.95 plus shipping. Gotta go back here and look for a blaze orange hat that has a special request to ship out today, so I gotta grab it. The blaze orange hats are always easy to find. Somebody said they got a hunting trip coming up. If I could get it out as soon as possible. And that's what we're doing right here. For $12 plus shipping. And this one, I believe, looking at the SKUs and stuff, I think this one came in our List Easier. That List Easier link is down below if you ever want to try it now or in the new year. And hopefully it's working as good for you as it is for a lot of folks out there. We appreciate you taking a look and using our links all the time. $12 plus shipping. All right, my wife is gone with my daughter at a meet, and so I got to take my boy out to eat. He's been working hard here. So I just want to say thank you, as always, for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Thank you for chiming in the comments below as well. And the hype button, I never talk about the hype button. Some of you are doing that for us. We really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you next.